A thread by Soul War, an escalation of gore crows and rabid vultures. President Trump has been in a battle of wills with the sanctuary cities for years. The pandemic lockdowns and rioting created by malevolent Democrat governors and mayors has drawn this out in the open for all to see. Antifa rioted in Seattle and Portland for weeks before attacks on police focused on the creation of what was called the Chaz Chop Zone in Seattle. About the time the zone was removed by SPD, Seattle Police Department, Trump was forced to deploy federal teams to defend the federal courthouse in Portland. For over 3 weeks, the feds and Antifa Black Bloc rioters clashed nightly as the vile mainstream media and Democrats in D.C. cried out that peaceful protesters were being oppressed. The Democrats are the bosses who control and use Antifa to push their policies in deep blue states. Mayor Ted Wheeler is also the police commissioner, who makes damn sure, since the number of actually violent and destructive rioters is minuscule, that they are released quickly to keep the chaos going. This is deliberate strategy. Become ungovernable. Think New York City under Mayor Dinkins. Wheeler accidentally spilled the beans when the Frankenstein's monster he created began to turn on him. Pick one, get out of Portland. Feds, we don't need you here. Pick two. Ted discovers he'll never be woke enough to suit the lunatics he's enabled. Pick three. Let's talk truce. Mayor Ted Wheeler tweets, Commissioner Joanne PDX and I are calling for an immediate meeting with Department of Homeland Security leadership on the ground in Portland and with Acting Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security to discuss a ceasefire and the removal of heightened federal forces from Portland. How can you arrange a truce with mythical Antifa, Ted? See, it's right there. This was all being done to try and blame Trump or intimidate those enthralled to him to vote Biden to make Antifa, the pain, go away. President Trump made a secret arrangement with Governor Brown. The feds stay in the courthouse, de-escalating things, and Oregon State Police, along with PPB, handle Antifa. The only problem is Antifa. The money and free stuff dried up at the Mark O. Hatfield Courthouse, so Antifa began going to residential neighborhoods instead. You can imagine how this is going. Thurston, Oregon, a suburb of Portland, became Brawlapalooza. Not under the constraints of Mayor Wheeler, Thurston police stopped Antifa cold. The agitators led the mob to this barricade, then began whipping the crowd into a frenzy. The police, sensing what's coming, bolster their time and prepare to repel all boarders. It happens quickly. A frenzied BLM agitator kicks one of the officers. Instant cop riot. Antifa then moved further into Thurston as night fell, confronting homeowners and picking fights. After about 10 fistfights, Antifa retreated. This shot of unimpressed residents speaks volumes. The organizers sent Antifa in there to get killed. They almost succeeded. One woman, a resident, shoved a female Antifa during an argument and badly injured her. There may have been more injuries off camera. All of this is being done so Trump can be blamed. Whenever anyone is arrested, they are quickly released. The only party holding rioters accountable were the feds, who now have charged 60 plus federally. But now they stay in the courthouse. So Antifa is now trolling for the conflict they need and thrive on elsewhere. Last night was a significant escalation. They attacked the police union building again. Both Antifa and the state police are escalating in action. Antifa is now mocking and challenging authority on every level. Think I'm kidding? PPB, this has been declared an unlawful assembly. Leave the area to the north now. Responding communist. This is the people of the city of Portland. You have been declared an unlawful fascist invasion. Please put down your weapons and fuck off back to your pig pen. This is not a riot. This is a revolution. They are now 1,000% fearless. State police are unfazed by Antifa's street theater. They push them 1/2 mile from the police building, then pause for 30 minutes. Antifa use this time to go and grab anything they can find from nearby homes and businesses to build a street barricade. Then they set it on fire. Bad move. The riots have become an exercise in futility. Americans hate rioters, period. We respect peaceful protests that are actually peaceful. Mayors Durkin and Wheeler only began trying to limit and control the insaniacs after 1. The mob came for Durkin. 2. Wheeler realized it's helping Trump. Both motives are vile and have nothing to do with protecting the people of their respective communities. Indeed, the model of governance they promote actually abuses the people under their authority. Remember, in past threads, I've said that that is exactly what Trump's destroying. By the time November rolls around, the people living in deep blue cities will face a stark choice: stability and sanity, or "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" Every indicator shows Americans, regardless of political affiliation, don't blame Trump for the pandemic, lockdowns, or the rioting. They blame the Democrats, who are telling them to their faces that this is your new normal. It's as insane as allowing boys to wrestle girls as girls. I predict the stealth vote for Trump is beyond huge, as Democrats smile and tell themselves inside their micro bubbles that 2020 is sewn up, and they can't wait for their constituents to line up for "Thank you, sir, I love being mugged." Democrat voters will nod, smile back, then run to the voting booth to vote Trump with a vengeance. The division caused by the Democrat madness isn't just deep, it will be total. What I've called the polarizing break, the sane versus the insane. Many Dems right now are acting like they're down with the cause. This is simply so they'll be left in peace. The Democrat platform for 2020 is lawlessness, anarchy, extortion, racism, and legal indentured servitude. Hey, what's not to like? This is a battle of wills. It was a cabal of bad faith actors who sold out the nation versus President Donald John Trump. The poor bastards never had a prayer.